In this example, we are going to calculate the monthly mortgage payment for a loan amount of $250,000. Term 30 years, interest rate 6%. Loan amount $250,000. Term 30 years, interest rate 6%. Our mathematical formula is payment equals to principal rate times 1 plus rate raised to power n divided by 1 plus rate raised to power n minus 1. We are going to see how simple this calculation is. So this is our formula. Now, from this formula, we can see that if we obtain this value, we can multiply it with any loan amount, P, to get the payment for a 30-year loan and interest rate of 6%. So we'll concentrate on this part of the formula first. So our rate, 6%. And we understand 6% to be 0.06. That's the meaning of percent. And since our calculation is monthly, percent, the interest rate is usually given on a yearly basis. So the rate, the monthly rate, will be 0.06 divided by 12. And this number is 0.005. 6 divided by 12 is 0.5. So that will move the decimal point one more place. Now, N is the number of payments. In this case, the term of the loan is 30 years. And because the payment is going to be done every month, so the number of periods, the number of payments will be 30 times 12. And this is 360. So from our formula, we need 1 plus r raised to power n. So this will be 1 plus r, 1 plus 0.005 raised to power 360. And this is the same thing as 1.005 raised to power 360. And when I do this calculation on my calculator, that number is 6.022 575. And in the description of the video, I have a quick tutorial on how to use the calculator on your device, the Windows calculator on your device, to quickly do this calculation. And my dot shows that the string of numbers continue is actually a long string of numbers. And when I'm doing the calculation, I like to use all the strings, all the numbers, to make the calculation as accurate as possible. So we have 1 plus r raised to power n. Now we'll see that once we have 1 plus r raised to power n, we are practically done. Because for the numerator, the top part of the calculation, I simply just need to multiply that by r. And for the lower part of the calculation, the denominator, I simply need to subtract 1 from it. So for the numerator, r into 1 plus r raised to power n I'll multiply our rate 0.005 by that number 6.0225, and like we said, we use the dot to indicate that that number continues. And when I multiply that number, it gives me 0.030011. Again, it's a string of numbers which I'm going to use all in the calculation. So this is our numerator. And for our denominator, I simply need to subtract 1 from 1 plus r raised to power n. And when I subtract 1 from this number, I simply have 5.0225. And again, that number continues. So this comes down to 5.0225. When I divide these two numbers, we have our magic number. And that number is 0.005 9955, and it's a whole string of numbers. So this we will call our magic number. So that corresponds to the part that we have in red. And like we said when we started, this number we can multiply with any loan amount to get the monthly payment for that loan value at 30-year term, 6% interest rate. So for our formula, our example, we are calculating this for $250,000 loan. So the payment amount for $250,000 will be equals to this number times 250,000. when we do this calculation, it comes down to $1,498.88. So this will be the monthly mortgage payment for a $250,000 loan, 30-year term at 6% interest rate. Since we have our magic formula, we can do the payment for $200,000 at the same term, because we are using the same magic number that we obtain, N and rate. So for this, we'll simply multiply the same number by 200,000. And for this calculation, we'll see that the payment will be $1,199.10.